Here we go. We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of the After Dark podcast. I am joined here with my friend Crimson. Say hello.
What's up?
Your mic is kind of muffled still.
Okay. That better?
That's a lot better, yeah. And today, we're going to be talking about how the gaming industry and just like the experience in general has changed. So, like back in the day when you would get online and you would play something, people were playing for fun. But nowadays, everything's just all about like being the next big thing. It's just like a bunch of competition. You know, like you got to get online and you got to get like all your daily objectives. You got to go in and you got to log on. Don't miss a day or you're going to lose everything. And like back in the day, you just get on, you'd fire up some Minecraft or something and have a good time, you know?
Yeah, not to mention the having to go around the game's like 70 hours long, but that's because 30 hours is just collecting a certain item because there's 400 of them.
Yeah, so, like the collectibles like in Assassin's Creed and stuff.
Yeah, I was trying not to add them.
I'm adding them. Dude, Ubisoft, I'm pretty sure Ubisoft is like, is it Ubisoft or EA that's like literally about to go under right now?
It's probably Ubisoft. They've been bullied for years, man. They've been bullied for years. It's always their servers, their games are lagging, and I think they got, no, that was a different company that got rid of their like CEO or whatever. That was Square Enix. Square Enix got rid of their CEO after Forspoken came out.
I got a bone to pick with Square Enix after what they did to Dead Man's Cross, man. That game was...
Oh, yeah, Dead Man's Cross.
Dead Man's Cross was one of the greatest games, and like mobile games, and it just... They took it away. They ruined it.
Well, it was the first to many, because Forspoken, the only games that really land by them is the Final Fantasy. That's really it.
That's all I care about is Final Fantasy.
That's all everybody else cares about, and it shows, because nobody likes the other games. Forspoken, I love the demo. Your parkour magic game, you know, different elements, different styles, fighting dragons. Sounds cool until you're thrown into this giant open world with nothing in it, and you're just running around, and it feels like you're taking the same like subject, and you're just pushing repeat on it over and over and over. It doesn't feel like there's diversity or anything. And I feel like a lot of games are like that now. I feel like a lot of games are rushed, and a lot of games don't really get that involvement, or you don't feel the passion anymore. I feel like a lot of games are just trying to throw things in there to keep you occupied and to make you play it longer, instead of maybe making just a shorter experience, but having more of that quality over quantity.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could take my latest Redfall video, for example. Like, the game is... Listen, if you ask me, in my honest opinion, I think that game companies are doing things like this to see what they can get away with. Because, like, Redfall, for example, that game, I don't know what the deal is with it, and it could have been good. It could have been. If it wasn't, like, so... I don't even know if I'd call it rushed. I don't know what its deal is. It just isn't, like, a good game. I mean, like, it's empty. It's supposed to be a vampire game, right? And, like, you could see... excuse me. You could see on, like, the video that I made where we went into a vampire nest. And for being a vampire nest, there was, like, 2 vampires in the whole nest. And we killed them effortlessly. And in another part, we 2-shot one of the main story bosses. This is like a main story boss, and we 2-shot him. It's like, when you make a game, and I'm literally quoting myself from that video, when you make a game that is so bad that the CEO of Xbox has to come on and apologize for it, wow, we have a problem in the gaming industry. But you also gotta remember, like, you as the consumer, we have allowed them to do this for years. Like, it's kind of like our fault, because, like, we are allowing it to happen for so long.
We're also allowing the increase from, like, the $60 games to the $70 games. And
for a worse product.
Paying more for it on a better, like, on a new next-gen console, the quality has obviously gone down. It doesn't feel like you're getting more bang for your buck in it.
Yeah,
So,
like the prices are going up and quality's going down.
yeah. And, companies have the options of it, but big name companies, they can just keep it at the set price. And I feel bad for the game designers and stuff. I know they put a lot of time in it. And I genuinely feel like it all relates back to the company, the big guys upstairs who have these guys on like a tight leash, who restrict their creativity and their passion for it. When you're constantly held down, you aren't allowed to run free. That really wears down on a person, and that can wear down on a whole team if management isn't good, or if there's, you have to worry about what's the business show, and all of this and that. So,
Well, there's a reason that like gaming is just like not the same anymore. And I keep seeing like a lot of videos on YouTube where people are talking about like, why isn't gaming fun anymore? And like I'll tell you why gaming's not fun anymore. Because now you just got a bunch of people, like I said earlier, that are they're only playing the game to either be the next big thing on Twitch, or everything is just like all about competition now. You gotta get on, you gotta be the best of the best, or you're never gonna do anything. Take Call of Duty, for example. With the skill-based matchmaking, you can't really, it punishes you for being good. You can't really be a decent player and just get on and have a good game. You get on, you have a decent game, and then you get absolutely destroyed the next game. Because the skill-based matchmaking sees that you did well against a set group of people, and they determine that you are too skilled to play with those group of people. So then they put you in the next step up, and then you get people who are just absolute sweatlords, like straight up like snorting G Fuel, just like going hard on Call of Duty 24/7. And then you get stuck in that category for about 2 to 3 matches. You get your ass beat so bad that you don't even want to play anymore, and then you quit playing. And that's like exactly why I didn't really play Modern Warfare 2 for that long, because like I'm a pretty averagely skilled person when it comes to Call of Duty. But like with this new Call of Duty, it punishes you for that, because if you're not a complete bot and you're getting kills, you're going to get put in with people who are just so much better than you, where it's not even fun anymore. So it's all about how they took the love out of video games and they replaced it with the need for money.
yeah, all the microtransactions, like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, for example, since we're in Call of Duty, the little boxes you get to get different variants, it literally helps you to become a pay-to-win, like a lot of games rely on pay-to-wins, because you keep buying 50 of those boxes to get like the orange variant or whatever, the legendary, compared to a guy who gets a box every so often and he just keeps getting commons. You're literally forking money at the game non-stop just so you can play better. And a lot of games are kind of based around that. It's not just gaming. Back in the day, you would buy a game, there'd be no DLCs or anything like that. There might be like a special add-on or something that came out, but a lot of games rely on DLCs, and a lot of games rely on special like customization or subscriptions or all kind of things like that, where it's just constantly like, okay, you bought the game, now you keep throwing money to keep playing the game. And if you don't throw money, you'll be stuck behind a literal paywall, and you won't be able to go to the next stage unless you give us your credit card.
Yeah, Melissa, thank you for saying this is a great idea. Hope you enjoy. We're going to be doing this podcast every Friday at 8. Since this is our first episode. We wanted to do a little stream today, but from now on, this will be every Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you. Hope you enjoy. And to capitalize on what you said, Crimson, back in the day when they would make a video game, nothing was online. Once you had the game, it was like hard printed on the disc. Nowadays, everything's online. You can patch it online. So the mindset that these companies have now is release it now, fix it later. Like, we already got your money. You're going to pay for the product right now. And if we want to, we'll fix it later. And then you could download the day one patch or the year patch later or whatever. Like, it's all about money, because we took people who actually wanted to create video games out of the corporation studios, and we replace it with people who don't play games and are just in it for the money. So you got people who don't even play video games, and they're the head of the company, and they're trying to just mimic what everybody else is doing. Like, they see, oh, battle royales are successful right now? Well, let's make a new battle royale and put like a little twist on it. And then you got somebody else that copies that idea, and then you got a copy of a copy, and it's just like, it goes on and on and on. We just got like so much of the same thing, and it just sucks the fun out of it. It's not that games aren't fun anymore. A lot of people have the misconception that they're growing out of games. You are not the problem. The games are the issue, because nobody makes games that they are passionate about anymore. The only people who still do that are indie developers. And if you play an indie game and you don't like it, then maybe you are growing out of gaming. Because, like, if you're just only buying AAA titles like Call of Duty or Battlefield or games like that you used to enjoy and you don't enjoy it anymore, it's not so much that you're growing out of it. It has more to do with the fact that there are a lot more people who play games nowadays that are just trying to, be really good. Like I said earlier, they're trying to stream, they're trying to be the next Ninja, they're trying to be the next big thing on Twitch. Like, they need to be the best. They're getting on, they're training for 17 hours a day minimum. They're just on there, they're killing it. And then you got like the average player, which is you, who like playing games, and you can't really compete with that, because you're just on there for a quick game and you get absolutely destroyed. And it doesn't work anymore. If you play an indie game where somebody who's actually passionate about the game and isn't only in it for the money, then you can enjoy it. Like, I got a lot of my favorite games right now are indie games. I can't really name one off the top of my head right now, but I've been playing a lot of indie games lately, like a lot of survival indie games. I follow a couple survival indie games on TikTok too that I'm pretty excited for, that are going to be coming out. And it's just like the AAA games, I just feel like their heart isn't in it anymore. It's all about the money, how they can capitalize off of it.
Yeah, it's also the media's like focusing on what games are so big and what games are so popular. It's the media going, you have these indie games, they're smaller, they're not as well known, they haven't been around for years, they don't have a continuous like fan base as all the games that are focused on like Call of Duty, Rocket League, Fortnite, all these big multiplayer games. I feel like if they focus more on like just kind of the story or the game itself, instead of just how could we just keep putting person against person against person, and trying to, get as many people onto this platform as possible, and then trying to find some way through a money system in there. So, if you make a multiplayer game and you can just keep rinsing the same topic, and it just works out, why would you change anything? You're just gonna keep squeezing new things in there that just benefit
that's
you.
just it. That's just it. Is like the gaming community is part of the problem, and I know a lot of people out there. A lot of people out there, they don't want to admit that. And I've done it too. I'm not innocent. I've bought games that I shouldn't have bought.
I mean, I'm perfect. I'm like good to go.
I've bought games that I shouldn't have bought that were completely broken just because I wanted to play them. And a lot of people who do that, you just send them the message that like, oh, people want to play this so bad that we don't even have to make it good. They're going to buy it anyway. I am guilty of that, and I take accountability for it. But like, you got people out there that will buy a game for $70, like Redfall. I'm talking about Redfall. For $70, you'll buy a game, and then when that game ends up being terrible, and somebody says that it's terrible, they start to defend it. And that's what really, like, kills me, is like, you got people who are literally getting robbed. They are robbing you, and then you are turning around and you're defending them for taking your money and giving you a half-assed product. And it's not enough that they got your money, but then like you defend them about it. And I covered that in my Redfall review. I said that because it's like a crazy thing that happens in this gaming community where people will just get literally robbed. And then they'll turn around and they will defend it. Like, they'll be like, oh, well, I bought the game and I like it, even though it doesn't work and it crashes all the time and it's half-assed and there's nothing to do in it. I paid the $70, so I'm gonna force myself to enjoy it. And then they get stuck in that cycle where they just keep doing that and they keep defending it, and then the companies, they're able to just keep doing it because they know that there are going to be people out there that are going to buy it regardless. And not only that, but then they're going to defend it to other people who are like trying to be like, hey, we need to send a message to these corporations that we don't want to buy these unfinished products anymore. And then the people who got robbed, they don't want to admit they got robbed. So they're like, the game ain't even that bad. You guys are overreacting. It just crashes all the time. There's nothing in it. It's full of bugs and glitches and visual effects. It's just, it's so great. I paid $70 for this, so I'm going to force myself to like it. And it's like, when you do that, you are sending the message that it's okay. And that's the future of our games. Because greed and the corporations that make these games are running so rampant, and it's not going to get any better because we're not making it any better. We're enabling it.
Yep. I kind of like the idea that you said that we're enabling it, we're allowing it to happen, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I had like the big idea in my head.
Hey, we're on stream right now. You can't be affording to do that.
Yeah, no, that was just a prank, man. But I like the idea how you said that we're just kind of forcing into it and kind of slaving away to it, because it kind of just stretches outside of video games as a whole, I believe. I feel like our whole life is kind of based around that now. I feel like it's just the next biggest thing. I feel like it's us. We have to get the brand new thing. We have to get the biggest name brand. We can't just get something and be happy with it. And a lot of things just aren't meant to be like long term anymore.
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Long term isn't like a lot of the games nowadays are just like multiplayer only. And I mean, it's okay to like multiplayer games. I like multiplayer games. I think that multiplayer, if you do it right, could only make a game better. But when you only focus on multiplayer, that is a disaster waiting to happen, because then when your game dies, and inevitably it will, it's something that happens to all games. No game is going to last for 10 years unless you re-release it 100 times like Skyrim. Then, people will keep buying it. And I actually recently just rebought Skyrim because I wanted to mod it on PC. But now that I got it on PC, listen, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to do the same thing that I just complained about other people doing. I'm going to defend my purchase on this because I didn't have a PC before now. And I bought it on PC. So now I have it permanently. And I will never in my life rebuy it again. If they make another Skyrim Anniversary Edition 10 years from now, I ain't buying that shit. The only reason I bought it now is because I didn't have it on PS4, or because I didn't have it on PC. I had it on Xbox 360, and I had it on Xbox One. And now I have it on PC. So I bought that game 3 times over the course of like 11 years. So, I'm not defending what they're doing. I'm just saying the only reason that I did it, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be like, oh, you can't do that, because I have done it. I'm taking accountability. It's scummy that they do it. Let me give you a little backstory on why I had to get the Anniversary Edition. So I went on this website that I'm not going to name drop, where you can get keys for cheap for Steam. And I went on there and I bought the game, the Special Edition, for, what was it, $10. And I was cool with that. And I got it for $10, and then I went to download this mod called Fadon that I seen somebody on TikTok that I follow, he was playing it, and it looked cool. It was like a multiplayer Skyrim mod. I was like, I want that. And I went on there, and I bought it, and I went to download it, and like in the directions, it was like, you need the full Anniversary Edition to play this. And I was like, damn, I bought the Special Edition, and I can't play the mod now. And it's just, I had to go on Steam, and I looked up how much it was. For me to upgrade to the Anniversary Edition without it being on sale, it was $20. I wasn't going to pay that. But my buddy, who wanted to play the game with me, he was like, don't even worry about it. I'll spot you. I'll get you the money. So we got it. Love this content. See you guys Friday. I bought Skyrim on all 7 of the platforms. I have to go to work. All right, Melissa, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you on Friday on the next stream.
Yep, thank you, Melissa.
But as I was saying, like he spotted me, got me the game for $20, the upgrade, and then I played it, and I actually got like 30 hours on it in the last, like, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 days. I've been playing it a lot. The mod's really fun. It's like a really good way to experience Skyrim. But the reason that I had to get the Anniversary Edition was because all the mods require it. So it's just scummy, in my opinion, to not only re-release a game 10 times, but to make the modding, like, you need to buy the newest version for most of the mods. Like, the mod packs, I should say. If you want to go on Wabbajack and download the mod packs, you need the Anniversary Edition for 90% of them on there. And I think that's kind of scummy. So, like, you're pretty much forcing somebody to buy the Anniversary Edition, which, let me remind you what the Anniversary Edition for Skyrim is. It's the Creation Club. So they pretty much took, like, a bunch of mods that people made for free and put them in the game and then made you pay for it. So, like, yeah, that's what the Anniversary Edition is. They took a bunch of mods that were free, and they made you pay for it. And that's the Anniversary Edition for Skyrim. So, you had to get that. Go ahead.
Not to mention the whole, like, can of worms that you're opening just by saying you have to buy the game over and over again. Because how many games, how many shows, how many movies, how many, like, products, how many of these, like, little entertainment things are being recycled today? How many remakes do they have to be? How many like second or third, the trilogies? How many times do they have to keep using the same idea, either bringing it back or carrying it off, to just keep something alive? I feel like a lot of new things now that are remastered or continuing off the original story, I don't feel like they have that connection anymore compared to that first one. I feel like once you go past the first one and a lot of things, it's really hard to hit it on the nail, because I feel like a lot of the times it's trying to get that same exact reaction you got with the first one, instead of opening up its own story and, letting it be happy and grow on you itself to get the same reaction that you left with the first one.
What were you talking about?
The how so many, like, games, so many shows, so many movies are just remastering a lot of product that did.
Oh yeah, The Last of Us.
Ride that wave.
The Last of Us remaking their game 3 times, making a TV show.
Skyrim doing that over and over and over because, oh wow, brand new, like literally just taking it and changing it to be ported on this console. Okay, you're all good to go. All right, now go ahead and just throw your money at me now. I'm ready. Just my body is prepared for all the money to be thrown at me.
I've come across a really interesting stream the other night. I was just like on YouTube just chilling out, and I found like this really weird otherworldly channel where they were just playing The Last of Us multiplayer, and like they were like real try hard. They were like yelling at each other, and it was really entertaining and funny, because like they were so try hard that they were like bickering, and the one dude, he ended up calling the other guy a fucking idiot and then got kicked from the party because like they were just getting their ass beat by the enemy team, and they were taking it so seriously that like their friendship was just like falling apart on stream. And like it was kind of like funny just to see it, because like, dude, this isn't even like the remastered version on like the PS5. This is the PS4 version. Like, you guys are playing and taking it this seriously.
See, the funny thing is once the game kind of moves on and there's still like the previous generation or the last game, it's not. It's a shell of what it used to be, and I like to call it the Badlands. I like to call it just.
That was a really good show too. I'm sad it got canceled into the Badlands. Oh,
Badlands. I've always wanted to see it. I've never seen that, or
it's really good.
Sons of Anarchy either.
I never really got into Sons of Anarchy. I watched the first season. I didn't care for it.
Yeah, I've watched clips of it, but yeah, I just feel like so many things are just getting rinsed and repeated, and I feel like they're just trying to bring back that first reaction, hoping that I can score the same. without putting anywhere near as much effort into any of the projects that they're doing.
Well, let me capitalize on that real quick. The reason for that is that nobody is creative anymore. We are all desensitized because we're all on our smartphones 24/7. We're all watching TV 24/7. Everything interesting has already been done, and like no one just has that creative mindset anymore. No one wants to do anything differently.
How many times will you sit there and like, you're on Facebook Watch, you're on TikTok, you're on whatever social media platform, Instagram, just going through those little shorts, and you see one joke, it's like, oh, a little dark humor joke, it gets a pretty good reaction. You go about 10 videos down, and it's the same joke, almost word for word, but obviously it's a different account, and somebody just acting that out. So they're like, wow, I saw this. But I'm not just going to share it and give the person credit, because I can just change it up a little bit and sell it off as my own and hope that gets more popular, or I just get the success that I'm looking for and it just benefits me, in some way, shape, or form.
There's a writer strike going on right now because AI is writing shit better than humans.
Yeah, AI it's pretty scary to me.
AI is, dude. You know what? AI has been helping me out a lot, and I am on it. Like it's a slippery slope for sure. I mean, the crazy things that can be done with it are definitely like we should really be cautious about it. But I've been using it to like help me out, and like I use it to make my profile picture is AI generated. And I like that profile picture. I actually have, if I had a webcam, I don't have a webcam. I would really like to get a webcam. I have a hoodie. Voice crack, Jesus. I have a hoodie that has that AI generated image printed on it. My mom got it for me for Christmas for my YouTube channel. And I love it. Like, that profile picture to me is iconic. And I had one that wasn't AI generated that I just kind of like stole online that like somebody else made. And then I just like edited it and made it mine, and I'm trying to like take.
There's no more creativity anymore. Of course, you had to take out.
Well, look. I had an idea. I had an idea of what I wanted my profile picture to be. I've always been Golden Wolf 333. Well, not always. There was a time where I was CHK, and that's how I got my name CH. But like growing up on Xbox 360, I was Golden Wolf 333. Then because PlayStation didn't allow you to change your name, I was stuck being CHK. And then when they let you change it, I went back to Golden Wolf 333. So I've always had that like persona of like Golden Wolf 333, and I've always just like, I don't know, I always just like that. I think it was because one of my favorite games, Twilight Princess, the hero of time was a Golden Wolf in that game, and I always thought that was cool ever since I was a kid. So that's like one of the main reasons. The red eye, though, that was completely a coincidence, because he has a red eye in the game too. That is not something I intended. I swear I did not. That was just like a huge coincidence that happened.
See, I'm like very bittersweet about the AI, because like, when we were trying to think of a couple of ideas, we even used it. And, we also use it for a couple more ideas on our projects. I've, messed with it. I've wanted to, practice my Spanish on it a little bit, have a little conversation going. I've heard people make stories about it, how to make business plans, grocery lists, all this and that. And I think it's great for compiling everything that, like, the internet has and throwing these different, like, views towards you, kind of thinking outside the box to where you might not be able to think about it. But what makes me so nervous about it is because of how powerful and how beneficial it is, and how game-changing it is to open up this new world of possibilities. It could very much go negative too, to where people don't want to use it for the best things. It's like, let me think of this AI-generated girl, and I've heard about OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah, one named Chloe or something. She got exposed as just being AI generated, after doing all these different things, and it could just be some, 45-year-old bald man, generic, like 3 pieces of hair going over the top of his head sideways.
Comb over.
Yeah, he's got like the fucking very prominent arm hair, and he's just heavy breathing with spaghetti stains on his white t-shirt.
I'm imagining all this right now. It's very, very descriptive.
That's the point. That's what Chloe's like owner is.
Well, like that's a really big thing right now is like AI generated porn and like deep fake. Is there's actually like a bunch of like people on YouTube that are speaking out against that because like a bunch of the girls in the ASMR community, they keep getting deep fakes made of them. And I mean like I'm glad that I am not, a internet personality where I have my face.
Have like 30 deepfakes of you.
Oh, great. Because like I don't get a lie, it'd be kind of weird to like look up and like see porn of you knowing that you have never done it before. And a lot of people who don't understand what a deep fake is, they think it's real because like a lot of people they just don't understand, they don't know any better, and they have access to the internet. So like, oh my god, this person did porn, and it's like, no, it's fake.
Especially if it's somebody who's skilled in creating deep fakes.
There's a whole website on it. Like I've looked into it.
Yeah,
for research purposes,
Yeah, before this episode, you Googled it. Yep.
Yep. Before this episode, I was like, hey man, we're gonna be talking about that deepfake stuff. I gotta
just gotta Google it in incognito mode.
Yeah. let me just I gotta do some research,
Mom,
man, for the podcast. It's for the podcast, man.
Mom, I swear to God, if you contact the internet people to look at the router history, Mom,
it's scary that you could do that. It's scary that you could do that.
You could do that, 100%. Being like 12 years old, theoretically, because I didn't do it, because you're not supposed to be like 12 years old. You're like, yeah, Alabama Hot Pocket, never heard of that before. And then you're like, oh, God, I looked it up on my family computer because my friend next to me told me about it. And I looked it up, and now I realize what I looked up, and my mom's going to be home from work and see it. So.
Oh man, but like, yeah, AI, while it has a lot of good uses, and I've been using it a lot, like every time I have like a question or something that I need, like I don't really see, it's kind of weird. I don't plagiarize the AI. Like I don't like be like, hey, I need an idea, give me an idea. But when I already have an idea, like for example, when I make a thumbnail and I need text removed, I'm not the best at Photoshop yet. And sometimes I don't want to take the time to spend 5 hours to try to do one thing. So I'll just go to an AI and I'll be like, hey, can you give me a website that can use an AI to remove the text? And it'll give me a list of like 10 websites, and I'll go to each website, see which one works the best, and then I'll use it. And then I save those websites. So like now it's a slippery slope because I don't need to know how to Photoshop. It's a skill that you really need to have when you're doing stuff like this, and I've been taking shortcuts lately. Like I could do things. I mean, like I know how to Photoshop pictures and cut them out and stuff, but like it's time consuming. And why would I want to spend 20 minutes to an hour doing it when I could just go to an AI and have it do it for me for literally 30 seconds? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Why I know how to do it, but I don't need to do it anymore. It's just like you see on TikTok and, these other platforms where people are putting fake videos of like AI generated voices and like the presidents and stuff. It's like in the next couple of years, and that's being generous, in the next couple of months probably, we're not going to know what is real and what is not anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a slippery slope that we are at this point. It's less of a slippery slope and more of just a cliff that we have fallen off. Like, it's not going to get any better.
There's more of the generational gap, too. I know we wanted to talk about, with our age and us being younger, what it was like growing up in more of a technology-prominent, era. But with the AI being so advanced and the deep fakes, and, you have to kind of look for what's real or not. You have people that are like the 40s, the 50s. You have even like the boomers getting onto the internet now. I actually very much enjoy watching boomers make content because usually it's pretty like cringy.
It's pretty funny.
They just scream. I don't know what's so funny about them just screaming. But they might not know it, and a lot of times we used to take advantage of them compared to us who. This AI, you can tell it kind of smudges a little bit, it kind of looks weird.
Look.
Or it's just so outlandish of what you're looking at.
When it comes to, like, cringe compilations and stuff, I don't really let me just clarify real quick. When you look at a cringe compilation for TikTok on YouTube, for the most part, it's just a bunch of people who just like they can't help it. People with like Down syndrome and like autism and stuff, and like that pisses me off that they're in like a cringe compilation because like they're just on there trying to have fun like everybody else. And then like, you know, they don't know any better. So like they just go on and they try to make something cool. And then people are like, "Oh, that's cringy, that's stupid." Oh, it's like, dude, they're just trying to have fun like everybody else, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
I like if you want to put like a cringe compilation, put those people that do like thirst traps and shit. Like the people who are like standing there and they like take their shirt off or something. They're like, "Ha, look at me. I'm so sexy." It's like I don't really think that that's cringy either. That's, you know, you're doing what you want to do, and that's completely fine. But if you absolutely need to laugh at other people, don't laugh at people who literally can't help it. Laugh at people who are able to handle it. You know, like that just doesn't sit right with me. People doing that.
I watch a lot of cringe compilations, like a lot of like 18-minute, 20-minute videos on YouTube about them, and so I feel like I'm pretty like well diverse in what's cringe and what's not like cringe, and what makes it cringe. And I just think a lot of the issue is so many people are so good at it that you're like, are they actually like putting on a character anymore? There's that guy who's like the alpha wolf. Don't mess with my den.
There's
like,
been so many people that do
time,
that I don't even know which one you're talking about.
Oh yeah, he's like the real skinny guy. He has like the 3 like women usually in his videos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, don't mess with the alpha wolf, the den. And you're like, obviously this is satirical, but I've seen so much of his content
You
and the
just
way
don't
that he
know
acts
anymore.
and the way that they all keep talking about it and how they're all in it all the time. You're just like, this might actually be like their way of life, or he might have been like testing the waters, and they all seem to kind of be into it. So now this is like the new thing.
Well, that's the thing is like some people they do try to do it like to get like a rise out of people on TikTok or whatever platform, and then like at one point you kind of forget what is a character and what is not, and it's hard to tell. Are we still? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Why is my microphone doing that? Something weird's going on. Okay, it fixed. That was strange. But yeah, like some people don't remember, but like the OG of YouTube trolling is Copper Cab, the dude who was like a redhead that like he like seen something about like South Park. That was a character. That was a character that he was playing, and like no one got that. And for years, Copper Cab just like rode this wave. He ended up getting like a show, and like he played people, and it's like you gotta like give him credit for that, because like everybody made fun of him and like hated him, but like he took that and he made something out of it. And
even South Park made a thing about him.
yeah, like he was a character that he was playing, like, and honestly, I don't know if that very first video was satire. It might have been real. And then like once he seen how people reacted to it, he decided he wanted to make a character. I don't know how it went out, but I do know that like 95% of his videos were satire. And for a while he like went and said that he was like transgender or something, and then that kind of just went and got done away with entirely. Now he's not anymore. I don't know the story on that.
Yeah, he likes saying, because his like reviews and his like whole stance and all that, it just kind of it didn't really play well with the public, the media.
Yeah, I don't know why he thought that was a good idea anyway. But yeah, getting back on track. Copper Cab, he played everybody. He got like a TV show. He got everything that he needed, and like I don't know his financial situation, but if I had to guess, he had a TV show, and as long as he didn't be stupid with his money, he's probably set for life. And I know that he still streams. Like nowadays, he still streams occasionally, and he's got people donating to him, and he's got like all this and that. So I mean, like when you go on TikTok or YouTube or wherever you are, you can't really tell when somebody's playing a character until they come out and say it. Unless they're not a good actor. Like Copper Cab, he did it very well. He played everybody, and that was really good. Like you got to give him credit for that. But for the dude who's like in the Wolf Den or whatever, you'd never really know. Like maybe they're just not all there. Or maybe they're playing a character because they've seen that, you know, if you play your cards right, it can take off and you can pretty much set yourself up off of it, just being stupid online.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm not sure if I'm being heard in the stream or not.
You should be.
Oh, yep, I'm being heard in the stream. Okay. I wasn't sure if my headset was acting up or not.
Yeah, you're. I could see our audio levels right here. Like that's why I went and was like, oh, what's going on here? Because like I noticed my microphone audio levels were kind of dipping a little bit, and I don't know if it was some lag or not. But back on track.
Yeah, Copper Cap, he's pretty revolutionary, especially in that early YouTube age where, like, people really putting on a character where it's not these skits or things anymore, but it's kind of their whole persona and what they do started getting popular. And I think he started off as like a genuine, like, channel that was talking about these subjects that related towards like gingers or people's opinions on stuff. And I think he just had that hot-headed attitude. And I think he genuinely spoke his like opinions on it. And I think after some online backlash or people not taking him seriously, I think he kind of hopped on that wave and rode that out because he noticed that's what started getting popular. And if he started just kind of playing along or he knew what the people wanted and fed into it, then it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could go very well for you if you were a good enough actor and you have like something that's interesting. You can't really tell because there are people, like we were talking about earlier, there are people that literally they just don't know any better. They can't help it, so they get on and like they try to have fun and upload videos like everybody else, and then you know they just get absolutely destroyed. And it's mainly the kids on TikTok that do it. Because like kids nowadays, man, they're scary. They don't give a shit about nothing. Like they want a quick laugh at your expense, and that's it. Like they have no morality like at all. Yeah, they got no morality anymore at all. Like they want what they want, and they want it now. And if you are in their way, then you are the enemy. It's like that one song by My Chemical Romance, Teenagers. You know that one?
Oh. Yeah, Teenagers, the one where they say you're gonna go far, kid.
Oh my god!
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know that your emo ass knows My Chemical Romance. That's why.
That was my song for like probably like a month and a half. I remember like chilling in the shower, just like rinsing out my hair, and then I'm just like, teenagers. You know, just like
singing into the shampoo bottle. Yeah, like, teenagers share the living shit out of me.
You know, getting concussion because I keep like beating my head against every corner of the shower. Fell over, stubbed my toe, dropped the soap. I don't know how that went down.
For those of you watching, there's no emo slander here. Crimson over here, he ruled the emos for a long time. So if anybody could say anything about emos, it would be him.
Well, you see, I would love to take that position if I sung, Calling My Skin at a school event.
Okay. Look.
Right.
I wasn't emo in elementary school. Not in middle school. I was just misguided. So I made. All right, let's give some context, all right? When I was in middle school in 6th grade, I had to make a project about a book. Any book that I wanted, and I had to pick a song that fit the theme of that book. So I picked Darren Shan's The Demonata. And I don't remember what book in the series it was, but it was a series that I was reading, and I was like on the 6th book or something. And I picked the song Crawling by Linkin Park to be that song that represented that book. Which, if you don't know the song by Linkin Park, I love Linkin Park, grew up listening to them, they're one of my favorite bands, but that song is incredibly emo, man. It just is, so like when they had everybody go up and do a presentation on their books, and they would play the song on YouTube, and everybody else in middle school in 2012, it'd be like some nice little pop song or some like a country song or something, and it'd be like very nice. And then my song got up and I went, hello, I'm gonna cover The Demonata by Darren Shan, and then in the background you just hear crawling in my skin. All my classmates are looking at me like, what the hell? I'm just up there giving my presentation with Crawling by Linkin Park in the background. And it just like, I don't know, looking back on it, it's like I used to cringe on it when I was like a teenager. I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe I did that. But like, looking back on it now, it's hilarious. Like that's funny as hell.
PH, would you say that the idea of you doing that used to make your skin crawl?
Yeah, I used to be crawling in my skin for sure, thinking about that. But now, it's funny.
It was actually me crawling inside of your skin.
Oh, okay.
Where I reside during the video.
Yeah, back in the day, that was like the cringiest thing to me. And then like I got older, I was like, that's funny. Like everybody, no one else on there had a song even remotely close to that, and then I was just up there with Linkin Park at the background screaming as I was giving my presentation. Like that's funny. Come on. I had to have been like if I wasn't in such a like classroom that people didn't care about that type of music, I would have been a legend, man. If I would have had people who were in that classroom at that time that liked that type of music, I would have been I'd have been awesome.
Yeah, you'd have been the like 5th grade pimp.
I was in 6th grade.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, you better.
I'm sorry. I better what?
You better give me your apologies, or you're gonna be crawling. You're gonna be crawling into your grave.
Wow. All right, you listen here. Teenagers, don't scare me, okay?
Oh look, I'm gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books if you don't quit this. Make a citizen out of you.
All right. These scars remind me of what I used to do. So how about I give you a couple of scars to remind you?
Well, listen, man.
Falling in my crawl.
All it does is remind me that the past is real. So you can go ahead and do that if you want. We're getting off topic.
My hair is getting longer by the minute. Let us let us change topics.
We could either change topic or we can wrap up because we've been going for 45 minutes.
You know, my middle name was 45 minutes in high school.
Really? Why'd they call you that?
That was my middle name.
Oh, this is all right. Well,
I'm trying not to laugh at my own joke. I'm like smiling in the corner right now.
Laughing at your own joke only makes it better. But
that's very true.
I think that this has been a solid first stream. This has technically been episode 1 because it went well. If it didn't go well, I would have called it a test stream, but it went well. So I'm going to call this episode 1. I will upload this to my YouTube channel, so if you got through this whole 47-minute video, thank you. This will be on every Friday. Every Friday night at 8. I don't know when I'll upload it to YouTube. It'll be live on TikTok. The link to my TikTok is in my banner somewhere. You can find it, and you can come over and tune in every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm CH.
I'm Crimson.
It took you long enough. And this has been the After Dark podcast. Tune in for next time. Hope everybody has a great night. Peace.